Hey everybody! Welcome to my YouTube channel, Jess Matter of Crafts. And I do have Mr. Caden here with me this afternoon. We are going to be doing an unmolding video. As some of you might know, I did open a store for the acrylic molds. So I thought I would go ahead and upload a video to YouTube about the unmoldings and kind of show you what you can expect to see in the online store. There's something wildly satisfying about unmolding something. It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. If anybody has any experience with it, you probably feel the same exact way. But my whole intention behind doing molds for everyone is there are some people out there who enjoy the perfection of the acrylic mold, but they don't want to. They either don't want to they don't want to do it, or they're allergic to it. Or there could be a lot of different reasons why people don't work with, what am I trying to say, with resin. So I am here to help you out and supply these products for you. If ever there is a mold that you see that I don't have that you're interested in, you can always send me a message on the website. I'll be more than happy to try and figure out how I can get my hands on that mold so that way I can make some molds for you. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start unmolding. I made a ton of molds the other day, and I didn't unmold any of them, so that way I could do it here with you guys on YouTube to show you the possibilities. So here I have the Prima clocks, and that's the first one that I'm going to unmold. I do use clear resin, and there's a reason why I use clear resin. I do like the white resin, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the white, but the clear has a little bit more possibilities. Because when you paint the back of the clear mold and you don't paint the front of it, so you just paint the back with some either white or black gesso, it kind of gives it a glassy look. I thought about doing that with you guys today too, to kind of show you the possibilities of it. It's really kind of a cool effect. But you won't get that effect with any of the other resins that go white or black or anything like that. You end up having to go ahead and paint the whole mold, whatever color that you want to paint it. So I'm going to go ahead and unmold this. See, look at that. It's just, I don't know, there's something satisfying about unmolding that. It's just, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Hope everyone is doing well today. We are doing good. We're holding up very well against all of this, the coronavirus and everything. We are staying home. We're not doing anything crazy. Nothing, you know. I hope you guys are too. This one's fun. I love these stars and moon mold from Vinnebear. These are my favorite stars though. These ones right here with the hole in the middle of them. Those are my favorite stars, I gotta say. Those are my absolute favorites. I love them. I hope you can see them okay. But yes, and with the stars, that would be the glassy effect I was talking with you about earlier would be a perfect example, because then you can make the stars appear kind of glassy like they are in the night sky. So yeah, so as you can see, very pretty molds. They're very nice. I do have a lot of different kinds of molds. I'm going to be unmolding, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 different molds with you today, so that way you can see all the different kind of molds that I'm offering. I think currently in the store we have 51 different products. Yeah. Yes. And then we are working on some stencils. I actually need to do a little bit of research for stencil designs. I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet because my husband and I are still working right now. Of course, we're working from home. So, you know, there's only so much time in a day. There's only so much time because, you know, but yes, we are going to be working on some stencils to add to the shop as well. But if you have any ideas or any suggestions or anything that you are looking for, please just send me a message if you want to. Some of you probably know I'm Matter of Crafts on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. I try to keep my name the same, so that way no matter what format you're going to go to, the name is going to be the same. So just FYI, just FYI. I do appreciate your support and everything. I mean, even if you were just to go on the website and just check it out, I appreciate that. So that is the Stars and Moons mold. So I was thinking I might actually paint a couple of the Stars and Moons mold for you a little bit later. So that way you can kind of get a vision of what I mean by the glassy effect of what I'm trying to say. I probably can't say it any better than that, otherwise I feel like I'm repeating myself, you know. So I'm just going to kind of put those right back in there and put them on top of my clock mold, since I already unmolded that as well. This is a sea, obviously inspired like mold. I didn't have enough resin by the time I was done to fill in these ropes, but you know, I obviously, if you are interested in this mold, you like this mold, you want this mold, I will obviously make sure to fill it. This is the mold you will see in a video here shortly coming up next week, where I used this mold and I also used this mold as well. It did get a little extra on here, but they're easy to take off. And of course, I will not send you any molds that are imperfect in any way, shape, or form. I will make sure that the molds that I send to you guys are perfect. There aren't any imperfections, shall I say. But yes, this is the mold. Isn't that super? That's just so intricate. It's also a Prima mold. I had a birthday here recently, so my husband actually, it was a mold-tastic birthday is what I call it. I got a bunch of molds and resin and everything to create with. There's that one. I love this rope trim here. This rope trim is really, really cool. Really cool. And it goes great, obviously, with these, because you see the rope that's on here and then on this anchor as well. So, I mean, it would go perfectly on like a scrapbook page or like a sea-themed piece of art. So, those are great. I love them. Prima molds, I gotta say, the silicone molds are absolutely fantastic. I will talk about the Stampira Maxi molds in a little bit once I get to those molds. I have some qualms with those, and I will explain to you why I have those qualms when we get to them. So this is the Finnabair Wings, Cogs and Wings mold. So this is that. That's one of the big wings here. I just kind of got it unmolded here real quick like. See, aren't those beautiful? Just beautiful molds, just absolutely beautiful. Unmold this wing here. There's just something satisfying about peeling these molds out of there. And then here's one of the larger, like, clock. I almost feel like this is a clock part. It's not really like a cog or a wheel. It kind of reminds me of like a clock. Or if any of you are Doctor Who fans, it kind of reminds me of something that would come out of Doctor Who. With the time and the wheels and everything. That's what it reminds me of. What can I say? And then here is the gear here. Now these more intricate designs like these, they are not super easy. I'm not going to lie to you. With all the different holes, and I'll explain that in one of these molds too right here. So, but that one, they came out beautifully though. They absolutely beautifully. There's that one. That's the medium wing. I call it the medium wing because then this wing right here is one of the smaller wings. So you got the large, you got the medium, you got the small, and then you have the mini. That's kind of what I'm going with. And then there's that other like clock part, is what I like to call it. It's like a clock part. And then here's this one. It's on the smaller side. But yeah, there's those. So then I can put this one aside as well. I'm doing a bunch of unmolding with you today, guys. Just a bunch of unmolding. So I figured, you know, I was like, even if I, not that I don't want to sell them, don't get me wrong, but it's like, even if I don't sell them, then at least I have a large stock of molds that I can use. All right, let's move on to this one. I'm going to explain this one. We've got these tiny screws and not gear heads, but, you know, tiny nuts, bolts, and screws. These take a lot of patience to make sure that they are perfect, to make sure that they don't overflow. It's taken practice, I'm not going to lie, with this mold and with a couple other molds. It's taken a lot of practice to know the timing in which to pour and how much to pour because of the intricacies to them. Same thing with some of these cogs and gears. You see how this has all these parts here? I try to make sure that when I pour the resin, I don't pour it over all these little dots that you see. Same thing with this one. Now these ones here, these other ones, that's really next to impossible. It is what it is. Like there's really not covering those parts. So we have to take the good with the bad, right? So some of the gears will have the holes in them, like this one. They will have the holes for you. But some of these other smaller ones, they're going to have holes too, but there's also going to be a back. So it's not going to have a hole all the way through like this one does. This one has the holes all the way through, whereas that one does not. But it still provides you with a lot of dimension and depth, though, either way. So I'm just kind of trying to explain the product a little bit to you. So there's that one. And then here's this intricate one as well. Again, it has all the holes for you, but it has a covered back. It's not going to have holes all the way through. Right? Right, unmolding that one. Beautiful, beautiful. This one is not super easy either. I love this mold. I love it. But this one too takes a lot of patience to make sure that everything comes out perfectly like it does, like you see it here. It's perfect. There's no infractions on this one. But when I pour the mold, I have to make sure that I pour it very slowly and go around the rim, because the resin, when I pour it, it'll go only so far in between these cracks. So unfortunately, I have to move the resin manually myself to make sure that it gets everywhere. So there is a lot to learn with pouring molds. It's not just, okay, I'm going to make some resin, I want to pour some molds. It's not, it's not quite that easy. I'm not going to lie to you guys and be like, oh, it's easy. Anybody can do it. And I understand, which is why I'm doing this for you guys. I'm going to be making molds, hopefully, for you guys, so that way you don't have to deal with some of those frustrations of having these nice molds. I have worked with clay. I originally only really worked with clay, period. But then I noticed there were so many imperfections with clay. Like there would be like an air bubble in there or something, and the clay, it just didn't spread right throughout the mold. And it would show through the art, unfortunately. So yeah, there's that. So I don't really like clay, and plus it's really hard on your hands, and that can really, and it's extremely time consuming. So once I learned how to really pour the mold or pour resin, I was like, that's it. I'm not even going to be playing with clay anymore. I'm just not going to do it. It's a lot of work with clay, and it's really hard on your hands. Oh, look at that. Isn't that satisfying? Oh, yes. Awesome. Here's that pretty mold. This is really, I don't know who you are, what you do, where, how, to do this mold with clay, forget about it. I tried time. This is one of the older molds I've had. I've had this mold for one of the longest amount of time, and I could never get these molds out right with clay. Never get them out right, because these parts would always break off. They'd always break off. That's all I can really say. But that one's really pretty as well. Super pretty. Lots of design in it. And I love this mold. This mold's a lot of fun because it's so big. It can be a centerpiece. Is what's great about this piece, is it can be in the center, and it has that nice flat surface to where if you wanted to put something like right on top of it, anything, I mean, you could put a moon face there, whatever you wanted to do. It's a great surface to put something on if you wanted to, and it has that nice little hole right there in the middle there. So there's that one. And then this is one of the other molds I've had for some time, is the Keyhole Molds. This one's really pretty. It wasn't too bad with clay, but with these more intricate designs here, these ones with clay, it wasn't happening. And that one with clay wasn't happening. This one, because of the tiny ribbons that come off of it, I could never get it right with clay. So, but the Keyhole Molds, a lot of them, actually most all of them, should have the keyhole hole there in the middle for you. So there's that. And see, there's that one. Very pretty. I was going to try to keep this video down to like 20 minutes max, but I feel like I'm already approaching that 20 minutes, or at least really close to. So I'm just going to go ahead and start just unmolding for you guys. I think I've kind of explained some things pretty well. There's that one. Because I kind of wanted to show you guys the glassy effect that I have talked about in the beginning. So I'm really going to have to put some work in and get these molds out of their places. So there's that one as well. So here's that. So I'm going to put that one aside. And then here is a frame. This is a super duper heavy, thick frame. I love unmolding this frame. It is so much fun. So much fun. This is one of my favorite frames to use. Again, it's one of my oldest molds as well. I've had this mold for a couple of years now. But it is a very thick, heavy frame. It's, yes, that's all I can really say about that one. It is a heavy, super duty, awesome frame. So, and then here's these leaf molds. Oh, these leaves are so awesome. They're very, very pretty. They have a lot of intricate designs to them. They're very intricate. They have a lot of grooves in the mold. As you can see, there's a lot of grooves in there, a lot of design. And then there's that leaf. Very pretty. This one is the most intricate one because it has so many little, you know, leaves coming out, or not leaves, but yeah, it has a lot of intricate parts to it. So you can see that one there. And this one is one of my favorite leaves, I gotta say. This one and this one are my favorites out of these. I don't know why, but I love these leaves. I love them. They're just super beautiful. There's a lot of possibilities. I mean, you can do for some furniture with these leaves, like if you wanted to, you know, turn some furniture into some beautiful pieces of art. You could use this, you know, use these molds with some of their transfers that they have. I'm talking about Prima Marketing, of course. So behind me, I have a lot of other molds. Now this is what I wanted to talk to you about, Stampura molds. Stampura molds. I love the Soft Maxi mold. This is one of my older molds, but I have a feeling that I'm not sure how long they're going to stand up. This is a beautiful mold. This also is in the store, and again, this is a thick mold. You can see how thick that is. That is a heavy duty heart mold. I believe when I sell this one, I think it's by itself. I might have one other small heart with it or something, but it is a really heavy duty mold. And what I was going to talk about with these molds is I have the new octopus mold. Let me get it. The steampunk octopus mold here. I have worked with this and worked with this and worked with this. I have probably wasted half a bottle of resin on this octopus alone. The way they made this mold, I like Stampura. I love a lot of their products. I have a lot of their, you know, products. But this mold, specifically this octopus, was not made correctly. There is no way to pour this mold and to get, without getting any of, without getting any resin over these parts here. So you see where the legs are supposed to be. There's supposed to be separation between the legs. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. And you see the depth of the head here, the depth of the head. That is, in my opinion, that is crazy. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how they made this mold. Like, the parts that should be where the legs, the tentacles should be separated, those parts should be more above. Like, they should have them higher. And I don't understand that mold. The seahorse, I've really had no problems with. The seahorse is good. I have no problem with that one. But the octopus, I can make this mold, but I can promise you that I'm not going to be able to get the separation between the tentacles the way they have them here, and all the separation pieces. So I did want to let you know that if you buy that piece in the store, it is one of the most expensive pieces because it's heavy, and as you can see, it takes a lot of resin. It's heavier. It's probably 2 of these hearts together by itself. I actually have one done now that I think about it. Yes, it is by far the heaviest mold that you will find in the store. And you see how thick that mold is? It's extremely thick. And for some reason, where the tentacles should be separated, I have been unable to make it work. I'm sorry, and there is some extra, like, because I can't fill the whole mold, see how it'll pretty much go right back in. So you see the mold. If I were to pour any more resin into this mold, it would start to fill over. So unfortunately, when I go to fill the mold, I can't even fill the whole head. The whole head doesn't even get filled up. So, but all the way down here, you can see, I'm getting out of the camera a little bit. You can see where it's full. But for some reason, this head, it's a lot deeper than the rest of the mold. That's all I can really say. I wanted to explain that mold to you guys. I have seen some women, some guys, women, who have been able to not have the separation in there. But I'm thinking they're using clay. That's the only way I can explain that, is they have got to be using clay, and to where they're able to go in there with like a X-Acto knife or something and cut those extra parts out. I can't explain that one, guys. I hope you'll forgive me. I'm going to try to use this piece at some point to show what you can do. What I would do with these parts is make them very dark. Just make them very, very dark, kind of like a shadow. So there's a heads up on that mold. I really wanted to put that one out there for you guys so you know. I do enjoy the Stampura molds, I do. But because of their soft maxi, I feel like when I go to pull out the resin molds, I'm going to break the mold. But it always just goes right back in place. Now, these heart molds are very thick and heavy as well. It's a very deep mold. As you can see, it's a very deep mold with the hearts. So I'm going to go ahead and start peeling all of these out here. I do like using these hearts. They are a lot of fun on your pieces. they add a lot of depth and dimension to the artwork. So there's that. And I can try and find some other molds. See, I feel like I'm going to break the mold right here. There are some, I'm going to try to find some different molds that have hearts in them. Because the Stampede mold, it's great, but I feel like it's going to break one day. If that makes sense. But, so yeah, there's this heart, very pretty. It has a lot of design in it. And you can see the design that's in there. I'll show you the whole mold once I peel all of these out so you can see all the intricate designs that are in here. If you have any questions about anything, you can leave me a comment on the video as well. I can let you know. I can answer any questions later as well. Or you can go onto the website and leave me a message or try and contact me there as well. There's that one. But this is the mold with all the intricate designs, so you can see all the different designs there. It's very, very pretty. Very pretty. We have the Finnebear faces with flowers. This is also available on the site. All the different faces and flowers here. They're very pretty. I really enjoy using these as well. They add a lot of dimension to any kind of floral projects. You can just add a couple of the floral molds into your floral project, and it adds some extra dimension and texture. There's that one. And then I have this one as well, the other one. There's something just satisfying about pulling out a large mold like that. Here's the other flower. I like these flowers. These ones are my favorites, actually. Those are my favorite flowers out of all the Finnebear floral molds that she's come out with. Those are my favorite. Okay, let's unmold the frame, the big frame that I've got here. This is a really pretty frame. Just something satisfying about that. There's that big mold there. It's a big frame. It's a big circular frame. Very pretty. Very big. And it's very big. And there's the middle piece that comes with it. And the flourishes as well. So there's those. It's like mold crazy around here, isn't it? I've got so many molds going on. I created a ton of molds for this video for you guys to show you the possibilities here. So many different molds. These ones are great for scrapbooking or just to put behind in your projects to accent your projects. These are trims right here. These are trim molds. They have a lot of texture and design, as you can see. And then this one here. This one is pretty intricate because it has all the different lines in it. Trying to figure out like the best way. It's kind of weird. That's kind of weird, but it does have a lot of intricacies in here. Yeah. So there's that one as well. And then I do have some feather molds. So these are feathers, obviously. So there's that one. And here's that one. Peel them out real quick so you guys can see them. So here are the different feather molds in this one. My light is for me and against me. I feel like it's a little bright. It's good for like down here in this area, but then
has to be like that.
So there's that one. Let's see here. I have another face mold from Finnebear. I love this mold because of these parts here. These parts right here are my favorite of this mold. because they're so, I don't know, they're like accent pieces is the best way to explain them. They're accent pieces, and I just like them. I think they're awesome. That is all. That is all. And then the hearts. I do like the hearts in this mold as well. These little hearts. They have little rivets on the edges of them. So I do like those really well. And then, of course, we have the faces. This face here, and this is the same face. It's just a little bit larger. So same face, just a little bit larger. Right? So there's that one. And then we have another, I'm not even going to bother with this one, but it's another mold. I just went ahead and made extra because we can always use extra gears and cogs and stuff like that, right? Always. Always, always, always. And then these frames. These frames are fabulous. They are fabulous. They are, it's a really big frame as well. It is very big, and it does come in the full set. If I remember correctly, we are selling this in the full set. It comes as a set, so. So there's that one, and there are 3 frames. Now, we do have, if you are interested in coloring them, like frames, I would be more interested in coloring than any of the other pieces. So if you wanted, so that way you didn't have to put in the extra legwork to coloring your molds and painting them. So there is that option there. If you wanted me to go ahead and just add like some gold to your frame pieces, I can go ahead and color them. So the option is there in the shop for you. You can do that as well. Then I have some jewels. Some jewel designs here. They just pop right out. This is a heart, obviously, and there's 2 of each. And this set is, if I remember correctly, I think did we go ahead and decide to go ahead and sell this set all together?
I think we sold them separately,
like half and half or something.
Yeah, squares with each other and rounds with each other.
Because we were trying to keep the price down is really what it came down to. We were trying to make sure that the prices weren't too expensive. So yeah, that's the pricings are the way they are because we didn't want to make them super expensive for you guys. But as you can see, it looks like glass. I mean, that is really cool. And because they are like jewel type designs, a lot of possibilities with these. You can make jewelry with these. You can do artwork with these, you know, mixed media, whatever you wanted to do. A lot of different possibilities. A lot. This one is a harder plastic mold, unlike these Stampera molds. It's not like a soft maxi. So, but that's the general gist of these. I think my video has gone on a little bit longer than I had wanted it to begin with. I might have gone mold crazy when I filled all these molds to share with you guys. We also have these gems as well for you. So I filled these last night too, but they are tiny gems. Now these do come all in one package, the tiny ones. And yeah, so you get the gist of these. They are tiny little gems. They look like glass, a lot of possibilities, like the melange you buy from Finnabair. Well, here you go. Same thing. It just has different shapes. Different shapes. So there's that one. And then this frame, I love this frame. One of my other favorite frames I use in a lot of pieces. It's a very small frame, but this one I did over pour yesterday. I did over pour it a little bit, but I do have a Dremel. So I'll use my Dremel and get off that those extra pieces there. So you know. But again, like I said, whenever I make molds for you guys, I'll make sure that they're perfect, that they look very nice. They aren't going to come to you any other way other than perfect and beautiful. So real quick, I would like to go ahead and show you the glassy effect that you can achieve with the mold. So I'm just going to take one mold and I'm going to do that real quick with you, and then that will be it. Then we will be done. We will be done. I just want to show you that glassy effect that I have been talking about. So I'm just using some black gesso on the back of my mold. That's all I'm doing here. Some black gesso. I will say I do kind of prefer the black gesso look versus the white gesso. Not gonna lie about that one. But as you see, I hope the camera is going to catch this. This has a glassy effect, and when you see it in person, you'll be able to see it even better. Goshy me, it's not. It's a little bit, you can kind of see it a little bit, but from the sides and so forth, you can see, kind of starting to see that a little bit. There is a glassy effect to it. It's really kind of cool. And when you put it down, and whenever you go to take your photos of your artwork, you'll be able to see kind of through it. It has this glassy effect. It kind of reminds me of stained glass. So it'll be really cool with like your heart piece, or I'm sorry, your stars. I maybe could try it with a flower real quick. Let's see. Let's try it with a flower and see what that does as well. A lot of weird little edges to this. Just so that way, if you wanted to have some like glassy looking flowers on your artwork, you have that as well. Oh, that actually is really kind of cool. I think you can see it a little better on that one. See, I only painted the bottom. I only painted the bottom. Yeah, okay. You can see that glassy effect a little bit better with this one. That's a glassy effect. So that's what I talk about when I'm telling you about the glassy effect. Is see, it kind of, when you have it here, it looks like I painted the top. But as you just saw, I only painted the bottom. But right here, you can really see the glass looking effect that it supplies. So there you go. I think that is going to be it. Maybe I'll paint one of these jewels for you real quick. But yeah, so if you would like to go to the website and check it out, it is justamatterofcrafts.com. I do have a subscription available, and there is a coupon going on right now for, what was it, 10% off the first 100 orders?
I think that is.
No, it's 15.
Is it?
It's 15% off the first 100 orders. So there is 15% off. We did have some problems with shipping in the very beginning with our first order we had, so we had to go in there and manually change some things around. So right now it's set to an $8.40 flat rate padded envelope. But I thought about going ahead and using the boxes, but that's currently the price, because I feel like a lot of the molds are going to be able to fit into one of those smaller packages because they are molds. Now obviously if you get like a really big order, like a ton of the big hearts and the octopus or something like that, will probably end up going up to the $15 flat rate box. But we don't have that set in there right now, because it was so weird with shipping. Our very first order, she ended up paying like $23 in shipping, and we were like, no way. So we ended up doing something a little special for her, because she went ahead with her order anyways, even though the shipping was ridiculous. She went ahead and paid it. So we wanted to make sure that she knew that we cared and we wanted to take care of her, and that she overpaid in shipping, and so I took care of her. Thank you so much, everyone, for all your support. I hope you enjoyed the unmolding with me today. As you can see, I've kind of got a mess to clean up now. Y'all have a wonderful day, okay? I appreciate you. Bye.